The first 60 minutes of your day are not a routine. They are a clinical trial where the outcome is either the preservation of your independence or the acceleration of your biological decay. If you are over the age of 65 and you are starting your morning with a bowl of oatmeal, a piece of toast, or a glass of orange juice because you were told they were heart healthy, you are participating in a metabolic sabotage that is stripping the muscle from your bones and the clarity from your brain. You have been trained by decades of flawed nutritional advice to believe that a light breakfast is virtuous. But in the clinical reality of the aging body, a light breakfast is a death sentence for your metabolism. Today, I am going to reveal the one specific morning protocol that overrides the biological inertia of aging and forces your body into a state of repair and growth that most doctors believe is impossible after 70. By the end of this masterclass, you will understand the cortisol awakening trap, the tragedy of the morning insulin spike, and the exact three-step morning anchor that is capable of adding a decade of functional health to your life. If you want to be the person who is still hiking, traveling, and living without a caregiver at 90, you must reject the standard American breakfast and embrace the clinical strategy I am about to lay out. We must begin with the physiological reality of the morning state. When you wake up, your body is in a state of high alert. Your adrenal glands have just released a surge of cortisol, the stress hormone, to mobilize energy and get you out of bed. This is a natural, necessary process called the cortisol awakening response. But here is where the tragedy begins. If you hit that cortisol surge with a high carbohydrate breakfast like cereal or fruit, you trigger a massive, disproportionate insulin spike. Cortisol and insulin are biological antagonists. When they are both high at the same time, your body enters a state of profound inflammation. It tells your cells to stop burning fat and start storing it, specifically around your internal organs. But worse than the fat storage is what this does to your muscles. After 65, you are already battling anabolic resistance, the state where your muscles no longer respond to small amounts of protein. By triggering a morning insulin spike with carbohydrates, you are effectively locking the doors to your muscle cells. You are creating a metabolic environment where your body cannot hear the signal to repair. This is why you feel tired 2 hours after breakfast. This is why your legs are getting thinner while your waist gets wider. You are in a state of managed decline, fueled by your healthy oatmeal. To break this cycle, you must understand the protein anchor. Your first meal of the day must reach the leucine threshold, the point where you provide enough of a specific amino acid called leucine to flip the master switch of muscle growth, known as mTOR. For a 30-year-old, that threshold is low. For you, it is a mountain. You need at least 30 grams of high-quality, bioavailable protein within 90 minutes of waking to stop the cortisol from eating your own muscle tissue for fuel. If you do not hit this 30-gram anchor, your body will spend the rest of the day in a catabolic state, breaking down your quadriceps and your glutes just to keep your blood sugar stable. This is the physiological law that your doctor is not telling you. But the morning anchor is more than just protein. It is about mineral signaling. Most of you wake up and reach for a glass of plain, filtered water. As we discussed in our previous session, this is a clinical mistake. After 8 hours of sleep, your blood is thick with metabolic waste, but your cells are shrunken and dehydrated. When you pour plain water into that environment, you dilute your remaining electrolytes and force your kidneys to flush, leaving your brain and your heart in a state of mineral famine. The first thing that enters your body after 65 must be structured hydration. This means 16 ounces of room temperature water paired with a half teaspoon of Celtic sea salt and a squeeze of fresh lemon. The salt provides the sodium-potassium battery required for your nerves to fire, and the lemon provides the vitamin C cofactors for collagen synthesis. This mineral surge clears the metabolic fog and primes your mitochondria for the day's work. Without this surge, your protein anchor will not be absorbed. You will simply create expensive urine. We must also address the circadian light signal. Your metabolism is not just controlled by what you eat. It is controlled by the suprachiasmatic nucleus in your brain, your internal clock. Most seniors spend their first 2 hours of the day in a dimly lit kitchen or watching television. This is a biological disaster. Your brain needs high-intensity blue light from the sun within 30 minutes of waking to suppress melatonin and set the timer for tonight's sleep. This light exposure triggers the release of dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters of focus and mood. If you miss this light window, your cortisol stays elevated for too long, your insulin sensitivity drops, and you spend the day in a state of social jet lag. You must get outside. You must let the light hit your retinas. This is the on switch for your longevity genes. Let's talk about the oatmeal lie in depth. The food industry has spent hundreds of millions of dollars convincing you that oats lower cholesterol. What they don't tell you is that oats are a high glycemic starch that triggers the very insulin resistance that leads to heart disease. For a senior over 65, oatmeal is nothing more than a bowl of slow release sugar that prevents you from entering autophagy, the cellular cleanup process. When you eat oats in the morning, you are telling your body to stay in growth and storage mode. But you don't need growth. You need repair and recycling. You need your body to eat its own damaged proteins and dysfunctional mitochondria. This only happens when insulin is low. By replacing the oats with the Robert Lee Morning Anchor, 3 whole eggs, and a tablespoon of spirulina, you are providing the building blocks for repair without the insulin tax. This is how you stay lean and strong while your peers are withering away. Let's look at the hormonal harmony of the morning. After 65, your growth hormone levels are at an all-time low. Growth hormone is the fountain of youth that keeps your skin thick and your bones strong. It is released in pulses, and the largest pulse should occur during deep sleep. However, if you have elevated insulin in the morning from a healthy carbohydrate breakfast, you suppress the secondary pulse of growth hormone that occurs during your morning activity. You are effectively turning off your own anti-aging system. By following the high-protein, zero-carb morning anchor, you keep your insulin flat, which allows your growth hormone to remain active for several hours after you wake up. This is the secret of the vibrant senior. They are not lucky, they are metabolically disciplined. We must also discuss the role of choline in morning brain function. Your brain uses a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine for memory and focus. The raw material for this is choline, and there is no better source on earth than the yolks of pasture-raised eggs. Most seniors are choline starved. They wake up foggy and reach for caffeine, which only masks the deficiency by overstimulating the adrenals. When you eat 3 eggs as part of your morning anchor, you are refueling your brain's memory centers. You are providing the phospholipids required to repair the myelin sheath, the insulation on your nerves. This is how you prevent the senior moment and stay sharp enough to dominate your own life. Let's talk about nitric oxide priming. After 65, your arteries become less flexible. This leads to high blood pressure and poor circulation to your extremities. Part of the Robert Lee Morning Protocol involves mechanical priming. 5 minutes of resistance movement before you eat. This could be simple wall pushes or air squats. This movement creates a demand for oxygen in the muscles, which triggers the release of nitric oxide. When you then consume your mineral hydration and your protein anchor, the nutrients are sucked into the muscles because the blood vessels are wide open. This is called nutrient partitioning. We are ensuring that the protein goes to your biceps and your thighs, not to your fat cells. If you eat without moving, you are just a passive recipient of calories. If you move before you eat, you are an active strategist of your own biology. Now, let's talk about the toxic habit of morning news. Most of you wake up and immediately turn on the television or check your phone. This floods your brain with negative stimuli and triggers a secondary, unnecessary cortisol spike. This digital stress creates a state of sympathetic dominance, the fight or flight mode. In this mode, your digestion shuts down. You could be eating the perfect morning anchor, but if you are stressed by the news, your body will not produce the enzymes required to break down the protein. You will end up with bloating and gut inflammation. The first hour of your day must be silent and strategic. You must protect your peace to protect your protein. This is the Robert Lee level of clinical depth. We account for the mind because the mind controls the gut. Let's look at the 7-day morning transformation. Days 1 through 3. You will eliminate all cereal, bread, fruit juice, and oatmeal. You will start your day with 16 ounces of mineral hydration, salt, and lemon. You will notice that your morning thirst is finally satisfied and your eyes are less puffy. Days 4 through 7, you will introduce the protein anchor, 3 whole eggs, and 1 full tablespoon of spirulina. You will get 10 minutes of natural sunlight. By the end of the first week, the mid-morning crash will be gone. You will have a level of steady cognitive energy that you haven't felt in 20 years. This is the feeling of your mitochondria finally being fed the right fuel. Let's address the stool and gut connection. Many of you struggle with senior constipation. You've been told to eat fiber in the form of bran or grains. This is like trying to clear a clogged pipe by stuffing more cardboard into it. After 65, your gut motility is slower. Grains and bran are highly abrasive and inflammatory to the aging gut lining. The real solution to motility is mineral hydration and high-quality fats. The eggs and the salt water will do more for your digestion than a mountain of bran ever could. When you hydrate the colon with minerals and provide the bile-stimulating fats from the egg yolks, your digestion becomes effortless. This is root cause medicine. This is how we win. Let's talk about muscle quality versus muscle quantity. You might think you don't need 30 grams of protein because you aren't a bodybuilder. You are wrong. You aren't trying to get big. You are trying to stay functional. An aging muscle that is not anchored by protein becomes marbled with fat. This is called myosteatosis. It is exactly like a low-grade piece of meat at the grocery store. It looks like muscle, but it has no strength. It is inflammatory. By hitting the leucine threshold every morning, you are cleaning the fat out of your muscles and replacing it with functional contractile tissue. This is the difference between a leg that can catch you when you trip and a leg that collapses. Let's talk about the economic value of this routine. If you follow this protocol, you are reducing your future medical costs by hundreds of thousands of dollars. You are avoiding the knee replacement, the heart medication, and the long-term care facility. The cost of 3 eggs and a spoonful of spirulina is negligible compared to the cost of losing your freedom. You must treat your morning routine as your most important financial investment. Let's talk about authority in your own family. When your children and grandchildren see you waking up with energy, moving with ease, and staying sharp, you become the biological authority of your bloodline. You are no longer the aging parent to be worried about. You are the strategist to be admired. This protocol is how you reclaim your seat at the head of the table. Let's look at the specific biochemistry of spirulina once more in the context of the morning. It contains superoxide dismutase, the master antioxidant. In the morning, your body is producing a high amount of exhaust from the cortisol surge. Spirulina neutralizes this exhaust before it can damage your DNA. It is a shield for your morning cells. We must also talk about taurine. Taurine is an amino acid that is essential for heart rhythm and bile production. It is abundant in eggs and spirulina. After 65, your body's ability to synthesize taurine drops significantly. A morning taurine deficiency is the primary cause of that shaky or unstable feeling many seniors have. By hitting your morning anchor, you are stabilizing your heart and your nervous system for the entire day. Let's talk about truth. The truth is that you have been mismanaged. You have been given a one-size-fits-all diet that was designed for a 30-year-old office worker, not a 70-year-old warrior. The truth is that your needs are higher now than they were at 40. You need more protein, more minerals, and more light. You need the Robert Lee protocol. This is not a hack. This is a physiological realignment. I am here to give you the blueprints that the food industry wants to keep hidden. They want you dependent on their heart-healthy grains. I want you independent on the mountain trail. Let's talk about the managed decline in the morning. When you wake up and feel old, it is not because of your age. It is because your morning signals are garbage. You are giving your body garbage information in the form of sugar and dead water, and your body is giving you a garbage response in the form of pain and fatigue. Change the input, and you change the output. It is a binary choice. Let's look at the bone artery link one more time. In our last masterclass, we discussed how calcium must be directed by vitamin K2. Your morning anchor, specifically the eggs, provides the vitamin K2 and the vitamin D3 required to start this process the moment you wake up. You are protecting your heart while you build your frame. This is integrated nutrition. This is why we don't just take pills. We execute a strategy. Let's talk about long-term cognitive health. The morning insulin spike is the primary driver of type 3 diabetes, what we now call Alzheimer's. When you spike your insulin every morning with oatmeal or toast, you are creating brain fog that eventually becomes permanent brain decay. By keeping your morning insulin low, you allow your brain to use ketones for fuel. Ketones are a cleaner fuel source that produces fewer free radicals. Your brain is literally happier on the morning anchor. You will find that your words come faster and your memory is sharper. This is the Robert Lee certainty. I am not suggesting this. I am telling you this is how the human machine operates. You can argue with the standard advice, or you can thrive with the clinical truth. Let's talk about sacred cows. Oatmeal is a sacred cow of the health industry. I am here to slaughter it. If you want to eat oats, you do it at night, as a luxury after a day of movement, never in the morning. The morning is for structural reinforcement. The morning is for the anchor. Let's talk about motivation. Most people wait for motivation to start a routine. Motivation is a feeling, discipline is a biological state. When you follow the morning anchor, you create the dopamine required to feel motivated. You don't try to have a good day. You command a good day by fueling your brain correctly. You must be the authority. You must be the strategist. Let's look at the phycocyanin connection again. This blue pigment in your morning spirulina is a protector of the nephrons, the filters in your kidneys. As you age, your kidneys are under constant stress from the medications you take and the toxins in the environment. By starting your day with phycocyanin, you are giving your kidneys a day off. You are helping them filter your blood without the inflammatory friction of a standard diet. This is the Robert Lee level of system integration. We don't just fix the muscle, we fix the filter and the pump. This is how you age without the typical breakdown. You must be the one to take this information and apply it. I cannot eat the eggs for you. I cannot get you into the sunlight. But I can tell you with absolute clinical certainty that if you do not change your morning strategy, the outcome is predictable. The standard morning leads to the chair, the pillbox, and the end. The optimal morning leads to the trail, the family, and the full expression of your life. Do not let another morning go by where you waste your anabolic potential on oatmeal and orange juice. Do not let another year go by where you watch your independence vanish. The mTOR foreman is waiting for the signal. The mitochondrial factory is ready for the cleanup. The blueprint for your strength is still inside your DNA. It's just waiting for the right morning code to be read. Take the salt, get the light, eat the eggs, rebuild your life. This is Dr. Robert Lee, and I am telling you what others are afraid to say because your freedom is worth more than their healthy myths. The path is clear. The protocol is established. Now it is up to you. Move toward the strength. Reject the decay. Stand tall. Stand strong. Your life is waiting for you to wake up. Are you ready? The tragedy of the modern senior is the comfort trap. You choose the comfort of a soft breakfast and a dark room, and you end up with the discomfort of a broken body. I am telling you to choose the discipline of the morning anchor and enjoy the comfort of a strong, independent life. The oatmeal lie is over. The protein truth is here. Go to the kitchen, get the eggs, get the spirulina, take the salt, step into the light. I will see you on the trail with a body that is anchored and a mind that is clear. This is Dr. Robert Lee. Absolute authority, absolute results, no more crashes, just vitality. Every single morning is a decision. Are you decaying or are you rebuilding? When you choose the anchor, you are choosing to stay in the game. The morning paradox is solved. The strategy is set. Now, execute. This is Dr. Robert Lee. Final warning, your morning routine is either your medicine or your poison. Choose wisely. Respect your biology. I will see you in the next deep dive where we will uncover the toxic fruit that is destroying your brain repair. But first, you must master the morning. You must master the anchor. You must master the Robert Lee protocol. Stand tall. Your independence depends on it. Your life depends on it. The eggs are waiting. The sun is rising. Do it now. Don't wait for Monday. The waste of your potential is happening right now, this very second. Every morning you follow the standard advice is another step toward the chair. Stop the cycle today. Start the restoration now. This is the Robert Lee promise. If you follow the biochemistry, the results are inevitable. The human body is a predictable machine when you know the code. I have given you the code. Now, enter it. Salt and lemon, sunlight, 30 grams of protein, no snacks. This is the code for a new you. I am Dr. Robert Lee, and I am the only strategist you need. Now go. Prove to the world that 70 is the new 40. Prove to the world that you are not invisible. Show them the clarity. Show them the strength. Show them the authority. It starts with one morning. It starts now. This transition to morning dominance is the single most effective way to ensure you never become a burden to those you love. If you found this masterclass useful, you must understand that the morning is only the beginning of your biological defense. While you have now anchored your day with protein and light, you must also secure your night. Your morning repair is useless if your brain's overnight cleaning crew is shut down by the wrong evening habits. To understand exactly how to bridge the gap between your morning strength and your nocturnal recovery, you must click on the next masterclass appearing on your screen now. In that masterclass, I reveal the 8 p.m. protocol that ensures the leucine you ate this morning is used to rebuild your brain while you sleep. Click the video now to complete your strategy and join the elite group of seniors who are reclaiming their territory from the aging process. This is Dr. Robert Lee. The strategy is your power. Use it.